Slow-mo.
I was like, when is it going? What are we doing?
It's amazing. Hello and welcome. We are the Backseat crew. I'm Sophie.
I'm Becca.
Marissa.
And Danny.
We're all here again. And we're going to be all gone. Well, not all gone. I'm going to be gone next week.
Yep.
Hopefully,
Again.
New York?
last episode will
No.
be together.
No, which one is it?
I've got a meeting.
Oh.
She said you were going to another concert, and I was like,
I
a
am.
third one?
I messed
Yeah.
up
A third?
the dates.
Yeah,
Oh.
in May I'm going to a concert.
Oh, well, it's time the semester's over.
Hey. My graduation present to myself.
Nice.
So I'm going to New York City.
Don't die.
That's fitting. Wow, I didn't even realize because our whole show today is going to be talking about traveling. I didn't even realize that.
Very fitting.
Yeah, I'm going to New York. I've never been.
Nice.
I've never been like more north than. I've been Midwest down to Florida. That's it. I've never been to the Northeast or anything, or the or the West. But I've been to Iceland.
Yeah.
So you have...
Technically, I have landed and transferred in Newark, and
Newark?
yeah. There's a city called Newark.
Oh my
And
god.
there's
Oh,
a city
no.
called New York City.
I was just like, that's a weird way to pronounce it. But go on.
Intense.
It's Newark. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. Newark.
Newark?
Newark.
Newark. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were winding up, Becca, to call me out on something I wasn't going to be called out for.
Oh. But all three of you have been out of the country but me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
let's talk about
Are
it.
you here?
Okay. Yeah.
Where have you been? Let's talk about Marissa. Like, where
Yeah.
you've gone, like, you've flown to, like, different places in the United States.
I've flown to one place. I mean, the furthest I've ever been outside of Panama City is Maryland, Washington, D.C., because my sister lived there. Other than that, I've just been a bunch of places in the South. I've been to South Carolina, Louisiana, further down in Florida, Alabama, going through states, but yeah, the closest I've gotten to like somewhere that's completely different from where I live is Washington, D.C., and I absolutely loved it. And like I loved it so much that like I sometimes think about, I'm going to move there someday. I really want to live there.
Yeah, I want to go to, I think it'd be cool to go to Washington, D.C., just to go, like, see all the stuff that's there.
Yeah.
But the cherry blossoms, they've got a lot of cherry blossoms. When I went to Atlanta back in February, I'm pretty sure I drove past a park that had cherry blossoms in it, but I'm not sure if it was just a pink-leaved tree because I didn't think there wasn't a lot of cherry blossoms outside of Washington, just because I know that that's like the main place people know for it.
That's like, it was like so electric. I love it. It was amazing. It was like Chinatown and everyone's doing their own little thing and like seeing all the monuments and stuff. It's cool, but like it's just you think of all the protests that's happened there and the history, and it's just so amazing.
That's neat.
Let's save Danny for last because she's done the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Danny's lived in other places, but I don't know. You've definitely traveled out because you've lived in Europe, so you've talked
We
about
traveled
traveling.
a ton, yeah, while we were up there.
I've only been out of the country once. Obviously, I've been to Iceland.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope. That was I don't know why I'm this type of person, but I grew up as basically an only child because I was the super youngest. Oh God, zoom in on my face. Since I was an only child, I just had to do stuff on my own, not to my mom's happiness. She always wanted me to have a travel buddy, but at this point, when you're an only child, you kind of just gotta do what you gotta do.
And didn't you had plans before the pandemic and everything to go to South Korea, right?
Yeah, I was planning on going to South Korea. I was gonna go in August of 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, and I had actually like applied for my passport and everything. I applied for my passport like a month after COVID because I was worried that it was going to take long and I wasn't sure how long COVID was going to last. So I wanted to get it just in case. I ended up getting it in July. It took a while to get it because of COVID because they stopped processing them. But it took a hot minute and I got it just in case I was able to go, but I wasn't. I had I didn't have my flights or anything, luckily, but I had like a hostel booked and stuff.
Oh.
But
I remember that's like when we met because we were in a bunch of online classes together and you had to do the introduce me thing and you always brought up Korea.
Yeah.
And I always commented every time I saw yours, I was like, oh, I also love South Korea.
Yeah, you were like the first person. I was like, Mom, there's someone that knows it.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, she's cool.
And every time I had online classes and I like met, I guess, people technically online, I tell my mom about it and she's like, oh, so now you have a travel buddy. I'm like, I don't know this person, Mom.
Oh my God.
Very trusting nature. Like, just, I don't know who this person
Yeah.
is. Like,
But the first time we actually met was in the library
Yeah.
of all places on campus. And I thought I knew you from your picture because we both had our picture on
Yeah.
online profiles.
I thought I don't know if I knew you, but then you asked me, are you, Marissa Wyman and all this
'Cause
stuff?
of
And
the
I was
hair.
like, yeah. And I was like, are you Sophie? And you were always so nice. So I would ask you if I didn't understand what was happening, like in class, I would message you first before I messaged the teacher.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Becca, have you ever been out of the country?
Yeah.
Where did? I love
Italy.
content. Okay, I
She
was like,
lived
I would
outside
love
the
some
state.
content.
So my family was military, so we got stationed in Aviano, Italy for 3 years.
yes.
So this was between ages 3 and 6 for me. So this was actually the second place I'd ever lived after like being born in Mississippi.
I always forget you were born in Mississippi.
I mean, it's not a huge, to be honest, it's not a huge part of like me as a person because I really don't remember much
Yeah.
from there. Like I remember I remember like my cousin Lauren from there because we're roughly the same age. We haven't really spoken to each other since, if I'm being honest.
It's usually how it goes with cousins.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she was cool.
Do you
When I
remember
was
anything
3.
about? Is it Italy, right?
Yeah, I feel like I have a pretty good memory of Italy, for the most part. We lived off base, but like it was a neighborhood specifically designated for military families. So I wish I had like a map or something, because I'm about to just make some motions on the table, and y'all are not gonna understand. The people at home aren't gonna understand it. Okay, but basically the road was here. You come in this way. There's like all this, like houses this way.
Like a subdivision.
Sort of houses this way, a playground in the middle, and then there's this offshoot thing over here with houses. I was over here,
Okay.
and yeah,
Didn't you say you remembered like the fields and stuff?
yeah.
and
So
the town?
so like outside of our little community thing, there was a bunch of fields this way.
That's cool.
There was a house over here. I don't know how they got to the main road, if I'm being honest. I never understood that part. But they were there. They were chilling. And I think just some Italian family. And then this direction was mountains. So if you went up on the second floor, you went out to the balcony, you got to see mountains. And that was cool. We actually went up there a couple of times for like sledding and stuff. I almost went down a hill that was a little too high. Actually, one time Josh almost went down the ski slope in his sled, and it was like the really hard one.
Like the Black Diamond is
Yeah.
what they call it. Oh.
Yeah, that was almost bad. And then so there's all that, and then like across the road was a cow farm that we went to a couple of times, and that was cool. And if you go down the road for long enough, you get to the village, which they had a carnival every year, and they had this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You have a very good memory for a kid.
Yeah.
My God. I would not
A
remember
lot of
that.
exciting things.
I remember a lot of the houses I lived in when I was younger, but I mean, to be fair, I did live in kind of the same little towns, so they were all like the same directions and stuff. But it's also coming from a small town. People didn't travel a lot. Like my mom, she's never been on a train. I've never been on a train.
I want to be on a train.
I want to go on a train or a plane. My mom's never been on a plane.
I was on a train actually in Italy because we went to Venice one time. I have a story about that.
Okay.
So basically, on that train ride, our dad had taught us the word for excuse me in Italian, which I believe was scusi. So my little brain was like, okay, I got this. So I went to my brother and was like, hey, I'll see how far back into the train we can go. So we just run down the aisle saying, scusi, scusi, scusi. So, and my dad describes it as like a sea of Italian, like parting of the Red Sea, like of Italian just going up. Because the cute little kid with the American accent is going, scusi, scusi, scusi. And then like it closes back up before they realize, wait, where's the parent? So we got pretty far down. Until like there was a locked door to the outside and I couldn't figure out how to open it. I was like, well,
I'm not supposed to.
Well,
open it. Maybe.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Speaking of trains, though, I was debating taking a train to Niagara Falls from New York, but it's a 9-hour train ride, which I don't necessarily mind. I could just space out for 9 hours. That might
Yeah.
be nice. But it wasn't viable in the time frame of my trip. So I think I'm gonna like take one trip. I've told my mom she needs to get her passport so we can go to Toronto and then Niagara Falls, just because they say the Canadian side's prettier for Niagara Falls. My mom's actually been. She went back in I think the 80s when you didn't even need a passport to walk across before.
Is that the only like besides America's? Do you live anywhere else outside of the country?
Yes, me.
Yes.
It took me a minute because she was starting. Okay, but I haven't lived anywhere else outside of the country, but I did also visit London while we were stationed in Italy, just because we had a military friend there, or my dad did. So we stayed in London for like a week, and we got to watch a rehearsal of the parade for the Queen's birthday, which
that's
was cool.
cool.
Yeah.
And now you.
Oh no.
We all turn.
Well, I will preface this with, if at any point you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
turning
It's
it
much easier when there's direct
the
questions.
flashlight.
Is it like if you shake it, does it turn on?
No, if you tap it. But when I tap it, it still doesn't work. I don't know.
It
Yes,
worked
it
that
does.
time.
Oh, it did? Oh, I can't tell. It's stupid. It was on for a whole minute last week. I was timing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes. No, in terms of traveling around, because you guys know I lived in Germany for a while. So we were stationed there last when I was in high school. So that must have been between the ages of 14 and 17. So the majority of my high school was done overseas. And we were stationed in Graf, Germany, or Grafenwehr, which like nobody ever uses the full name anymore. We love abbreviations and shortening things down in Germany.
Well, they're so long.
Yeah, they're really mouthy, so like you have to cut them. So like you'll get lucky if you get like Stuttgart, that's pretty easy. But then you'll get like Kaiserslautern, and people are like, "No, that's K-Town. We don't talk about anything else outside of K-Town." Germany was really cool though, so we did travel around quite a bit. I think we did France on like a long weekend. We went to go see Paris, and we did that in 2 days. We blistered so bad. We walked all the major monuments in one day. It was exhausting. We did Italy on a couple times. I went to Italy a bunch for sports because we took the bus rides down. Austria, Spain. We did do Spain once, so that was kind of cool. We went to Madrid. Poland, which was probably one of the really cool ones. We stayed at a hostel there. That was really scary. Really
Stay at a
scary.
what?
At a hostel.
I don't know what that is.
So a hostel is kind of like a hotel,
Okay.
but not. It's ideally like a big house with lots of rooms, so it's a super casual hotel. It's not very
And
luxury.
there's multiple beds in one room.
Right.
So usually you're sharing a room with other people that you might not know.
So we as a family stayed in one room together.
Yeah.
So like,
And like
a
you
super casual motel kind of thing.
in a way.
In
I feel
some
like-
cases, you can get also like community hostels, which means you only are allowed a room with a bedding or lodging, but then you share community bathrooms
Yeah.
and showers and things like that.
And they're usually cheap. They're like really cheap. Like
They're
in,
nice.
In
'cause-
Korea, when I booked it initially, when I was first thinking about going, it was a room that I may have booked a room to myself because they do have those in certain hostels, like at least in Korea. And because of like allergies and stuff like that, I wanted to have my own space. But since it was still in a hostel, like it was a shared bathroom, I think. And I want to say it was like $40 a night in the middle of Seoul.
Wow.
And there was ones where it was 8 beds in one room, and it was like $10 a night in the middle of Seoul. So it's really cheap, depending on.
That, and I feel like maybe there might be a little bit of a people get the wrong impression when they think of hostels because you think no privacy, you think maybe
Yeah.
it's dingy or that it's bad. And the one that we stayed at one, I think just north of Germany. I forget where we stayed at, but the community bathrooms were cleaned on the hour. Like they were very clean, very private. Do you know what I mean? So like they had community showers, but they also had individual rooms with like a shower, a toilet, and a sink in case you wanted your own privacy or if you had kids. So they're really well done. I think there's a big misconception that comes around those.
Yeah.
A lot of people think of like, no, why? If it's cheaper, it has to be bad or worse than what a normal luxury hotel would come to be.
And you get to meet cool people too, depending on if you get like a good place you're staying at, you can meet interesting people.
So, but traveling was really cool. I miss being able to travel more. In terms of on the U.S. side, I'm from Texas originally, but I've been to California, Boston, and then I've traveled kind of up and down here on the East Coast, but never directly anywhere. So like we did do a DC trip, so I've been there. DC was really cool. And then like I guess Florida now. I wouldn't consider this vacationing anymore. I guess I am kind of stuck here now. It was a long vacation at the start, but it's kind of seemingly becoming more permanent every day. But
You
I,
are gonna.
I've been here so long.
I mean, you are going back up to Boston in the summer.
I am, yeah. So I got an internship upstate, so I'll be going and staying at my dad's for the summer. But I'll be back because I can't stay away for too
Or
long.
will she?
And I got to finish my schooling down here. So we'll see. We'll see.
And I've been to Texas. I just remembered.
Texas.
Yeehaw.
417 also.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Houston. Didn't like it. Sorry.
Yeah, I have.
Sorry.
Not,
I don't. It's not that I've only been to Houston. I'm sure the rest of Texas is lovely. The traffic and the driving in Houston is horrible.
That's mostly
Houston's very
sweet.
busy.
Yeah.
A couple of spots in Texas, not for very long. Okay.
I'm just commenting. I am on a podcast. I am commenting
I
on
know.
the commentary.
I know. Okay, so the two places I remember going, one of them was supposed to be, okay, so context as to why I was there in the first place. I used to do choir in high school. Choir would have us go places. That's the short version. One of the places one year was Texas. Well, actually, we went to California and then worked our way down California and then worked our way all the way back because we took a plane up to Oakland. Don't ask me why we were in Oakland. Why would you do that?
I'm sorry. Did I ruin your train of thought?
A little bit. Anyways, Texas. Been to
Texas.
like two places maybe in Texas. One of them was like that mall that they have with the river, and you can get on a boat in the river of the
You
mall.
went to San Antonio. You went to the
Yes.
River Walk.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
the
There's
other
a Riverwalk in
place.
Tampa too.
That sounds cool.
It's by the Alamo.
Yeah. Apparently, my mom used to live in Texas, so apparently that's the place she also used to go to a lot. Which,
San Antonio.
yeah. And then the other place was supposedly the oldest dance hall in like Texas or something or other. I don't know.
There's a lot of old things in Texas.
To which,
Yeah.
like,
Surprisingly.
when we got home and I told my dad where we went, he's like, "Oh, so you went to a nightclub?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Look,
Bunch of 15-years-olds at a nightclub.
look, talks like a nightclub, walks like a nightclub. It's a nightclub." I'm like, that's not okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I have not gone any. I've been to Missouri. Is it Missouri?
Missouri.
Missouri. Wait, I get Missouri and Michigan confused. The one to the west.
Minnesota.
No, I've been to Branson, Missouri, for they had like a theme park. My sister got married there. But it's think of Panama City like a tourist town in Missouri.
So
And
it's
it's-
landlocked.
Yeah. Well, there's like rivers and stuff. But it's very like there's lots of mountains over there. I remember we were driving on a mountain. It was like the speed limit was 60. We were going 60 down a mountain. Like it was scary.
Fun.
Very scary.
And I've been to Tennessee. They're
I've
coming
been
to me.
Tennessee.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been just like straight down. Got Illinois. I don't think I've actually ever been to Wisconsin, Kentucky, Tennessee.
I love Tennessee.
Been through Alabama, and then Florida, and now Georgia. That's about it for the states wise.
I've been the East Coast, and obviously not everywhere. Like I think we started in Boston, then like New York, and then a couple places as we went down. That was cool. 1 year we went up to Michigan. I don't remember what else happened that year. 1 year we went to Colorado. We went to Pikes Peak. I almost fell off the mountain.
I was wondering if you were gonna tell that story.
Oh, I forgot I told it to you. Okay, so I almost died. This probably surprises nobody. Let me be more specific. So, we went
Therapy
to
session.
yeah. So we went to Pikes Peak, which is supposedly the highest elevation in like the country, over in Colorado. And so we took a trolley up, and then we took. I love when the camera zooms in on me.
Oh, it's in.
And then we took bikes down, because that's a smart thing to do when you're going bikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, because that's a smart thing to do after you've gone straight up. You want to go straight down on wheels. Anyways, they told you, hey, make sure you're feathering the brakes and stuff while you go down, so you don't go down too fast and fall off and die. I thought I was doing what I told to, and then I ran straight into a guardrail. So that was fun. It took me a couple seconds to realize that there was a ledge on the other end and that I almost died. I did have a panic attack.
As one should.
Yeah.
As one should.
I have another mountain story.
I have a
Yeah.
mountain story too.
Oh yikes! Okay, I'm gonna.
People have seen mountains.
Yeah,
I'm
Marissa
gonna-
hasn't.
They're so big.
I've never seen a mountain.
The first time I saw a mountain, I was just like,
I want to go to the
If your mountain
mountains.
is your Texas mountain, I don't believe it counts.
Oh
no,
my
it's
God.
not.
Okay.
No, it's not. It is a German mountain. I have to be specific.
German mountain.
So we went to Garmisch, which is kind of a section in a little bit more southern Germany. Beautiful area. Like, if someone is happening to watch this and really wants to go skiing, oh my God, go. Garmisch was beautiful. We took the gondolas up and we were at a section where they kind of had like little bunny slopes and whatever. This was our first time skiing. I have to preface, this was my first time skiing. And I thought like I had been picking up kind of good and I was doing really well at it. And I was like, oh, well, like, you know, maybe I have the confidence to try this. Like, maybe I could go up to a main slope. And where we were at, we were so high up that the clouds were actually rolling under us. It was such a beautiful view. But we went up and I thought I could tackle the slope, but this was kind of when the sun started going down and they closed the gondolas at a certain hour. So if you don't catch the gondola down, you have to ski down. But all of us, this was our first time skiing. I thought I could do it. I could not. I couldn't figure it out.
What was it like the two separate skis?
Yeah, it was two separate
Okay.
skis. And I couldn't figure out the brakes. I was getting anxious. I got nervous. And finally they're like, well, we need to get you down. And the people that we were with, they went down because they had experience skiing. So they went ahead of me. But then they had to go ahead and get like the Red Cross. Oh, I got in so much trouble for this. They had to get the Red Cross.
draft.
And so they came over and they're like, they had said something to me, but I forget, like I couldn't get the German across and I was panicking. And they go, American? I go, yes. And they go, okay, this is what we're going to do. So they come and bring out a sled. They have me lay down in the sled with the skis alongside me. They strap me into this sled. Like I'm covered with like an Eskimo hole. Like I've got just this open so I can see the sky above me and like as the sky's getting darker. So then they hook up 4 men skiing to each corner of this sled.
Wow.
And so they 4-man ski down the side of the mountain.
Why that many?
And the whole time, because they have to manipulate it on all sides to make sure it doesn't catch too much speed, I guess. I don't know. And I was sitting there laying down because I'm strapped into the ski thing. I'm not with my family. I'm alone.
How old
And
were you?
I was 16.
Oh.
I was too old to be
I thought
doing
you were
things that I was going to
younger.
be brave about. No. And they're trying to help maneuver me down the mountain. And I start, the anxiety sets in. I realized, I was like, I'm going to get in trouble. My mom is going to beat me for this. Like, so I start crying and I'm trying to keep it quiet because I'm around strangers. And then they stop and I panic. So like I hold my breath. And one of the guy, like, because I only have a hole to look through, he just leans over and he goes, you okay? And I go, mm-hmm. And he goes, are you hurt? And I go, no. He goes, can we continue? I was like, yeah, go ahead. So then they keep skiing me down. But then they left me at a ski station, which wasn't the ski station we had originated from. And I didn't have my phone. I didn't have anything. So I sat there and had to sit outside because everything was closed and everything was dark. And then my parents happened to show up. And they're like, yeah, they came back and met with us and told us where you were.
Why didn't they bring you if they knew where they were?
I didn't communicate to them where we had come from. I couldn't get it across, so they just brought me to the next closest station and then left me there with the skis and the boots.
You know, when you were telling this, I thought, oh, she was probably 10.
No, I
No,
knew she
I was
older.
old enough to have known better.
Sorry.
I could have known better. And I thought, yeah, I can do it. I am like a dummy, you know, like I could definitely
farm
figure out
tough.
skiing after one day, and then I got stuck on a mountain
I
and the
don't know
Red
if I could
Cross had
ever
to bring me back.
I don't know if I could ever ski. Same thing with roller skating. I'm just not that nimble.
It's a lot of
The
fun.
center of
You
gravity
just
on
stand
this
and will
body.
push.
It's a lot of fun, but it was so scary.
I've never even seen snow, but I would love to go skiing one day. I've never seen mountains. I've never seen snow. I've lived a dull life. Okay.
I'll bring you some snow.
But to tell my mountain story really fast before we move on, I saw many mountains, and I
Nice.
don't think I've like really talked about my Iceland trip on the show a lot. But in particular, one day I was traveling. One of the longest days I traveled over 1,500 miles upon a week. So obviously I don't know what that is in kilometers because it was technically in kilometers. But I drove to the west side of Iceland and was going kind of north and coming back around south to Reykjavik. And I didn't know where I was technically going. I just knew the roads I was going to be on. And I just started slowly going up like this road. No one else was on the road. It was a perfectly paved road. They had very nice roads. And it got to the point where I was at the top of this said basically mountain where it was June. So it wasn't, it was cold. It was in the 40s, 50s. But I got to the top of this said mountain, and there was like snow, next to the road, like all over the place. And I remember just seeing the temperature gauge in the car drop one by one by one. And it was eventually down to, I think, like 2 Celsius, which I think is probably like 30 degrees, around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But, and for comparison, like I said, it was probably 45 degrees Fahrenheit, just normal level. But it dropped very fast. And you could feel the ice, like in the car. And I didn't have internet. Like, I had it up until that point, but I was getting so high that I didn't have it. It was one road. I wasn't making any turns, which I knew, but it was definitely scary.
Yeah.
Where were you going?
What?
Were you just going up a mountain? Like,
I had to, the road was on a mountain, so I had to go up and then go back down.
oh.
How steep was the down?
It wasn't very steep, but I think I went and checked the elevation at one point, and it was at least 1,000 feet up in the air, I think.
Yikes.
But speaking of cars and directions, moving on to our backseat
Directions.
directions.
Nice.
Who wants to read it this week?
I haven't read it in a while.
Okay, I think this one is an epilogue.
Okay.
And
There's water.
there
Epilogue?
was one that I was gonna pick, but the main part wasn't too bad. But then the epilogue was like 4 paragraphs, and I was like, oh, it's a good one, but I'm not gonna pick this one. So I got this one instead. If we can get it up, I can also have it on my phone too.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Dear Future Me, hello there. Today is April 10th, 2021. I can't wait to get this email next year. I've changed a lot in the past few years. Will I get better at drawing? Will I have a glow up? Will I go to school and have tons of friends? I have so many questions to ask myself in the future, and I hope you're doing well. Also, did you discover new stuff that I never expected to, like before? I hope so. Will my room look a little bit different in the future? Maybe new furniture? 1 year may not be too far, but a lot can change in a year. I'm hoping for plenty of friends and new hobbies. I hope COVID
Is all right, probably.
I hope COVID is all right. Said goodbye by the
The time.
time you see this letter. Anyways, that's it.
How old is this
Smiley
person?
face.
Smiley face.
Who knows?
I don't
Probably
know.
middle
I
school.
think the epilogue shows it. I think they mention their age in the epilogue. Yes, it does. I have it up on my phone. But this one, it was from April 10th, 2021 to April 10th, 2022.
So like
Couple
Exactly
days
a
ago.
year?
4 days ago.
Yeah, exactly a year. So here's the
Hey,
epilogue.
okay. Hey, past self. No, I didn't get better at drawing. You quit. Oh, glow up. I haven't even made any friends in Antino yet because F2F is still next school year in grade 9. I don't know what F2F is.
I see that.
Oh, face to face.
Yeah.
Face to face is still next year in grade 9. I'm doing okay, I guess. I now listen to Taylor Swift, Claro, Girl in Red, Alex G, and etc. I also started listening to Alec Benjamin again. I forgot when I got a computer, but I have a computer now. Also, I got to have mom's old phone, and now I have 2 phones. Bye, past self.
Aww.
So grade 9, that's like what, 14?
Yeah.
So they would have been 13, 12
Yeah.
when they wrote it initially?
Roughly.
I quit. I love
I
that.
quit.
I
Period.
quit. So much potential.
Oh man. I would be a child again. Would that?
Not that age.
No.
Sorry, God, no.
I feel like in the moving on also kind of to our backseat song of the week, but with music just in general, they say 14 is that age that music that you listen to at 14 is like the nostalgic music. I feel like for me, like K-pop, because that's when I like listen to K-pop a lot. That's why I'm kind of nostalgic to older groups a little bit, but just music in general. That's what they say.
Mine was punk music.
Punk music.
Punk. Well, actually a lot of music, because I'll say punk music, but then I have T-Pain in my, so I mean, so there's a lot of music. But
But moving on to our backseat song of the week, iconic country song, according to Reddit. No, not Reddit. It was TikTok. I saw a TikTok about this song, and someone apparently was listening to it at their baseball game and thought didn't know what the name of it was, because who doesn't know this song? In my opinion, I feel like a lot of people know this song.
yeah.
But they went home and was talking to their girlfriend, I guess, and was like, yeah, this country song was playing at the baseball game. It was really good. And he played it for his girlfriend. It was Rockstar by Nickelback.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, what?
quesadilla.
Hey, I
What?
want to be a rock
There's a
star.
part where he says quesadilla.
Lots of baseball references
James
in the song.
Bond, hey.
that makes sense as to
just
why they were
wanna
playing it at
be
a baseball.
Big rock stars
I feel like I've
living.
heard them play it at the baseball games here,
That makes sense.
or at least to practice maybe.
Girls come easy and the drugs come cheap.
Well,
I'll stay skinny as I just wanna eat and I hang out in the
Anyways,
I know.
Anyways,
The spirit's there.
the
the spirit's there.
I feel like this is one of those songs that you can't remember the lyrics to clearly. It's all like, you know it, but it's like they all blend together.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
honestly, I had heard the sea shanty version of this song, but before I heard the original version, so I don't know what that means. I guess
I've never heard the sea shanty version.
I
but
would
I'm not
play
surprised.
it, but I don't want you to get copyright striked.
Yeah.
So maybe afterwards.
Yeah.
It was actually like
We can make
performed
a
by Nickelback.
Really?
Yeah, like they helped with like reproducing it as the
Oh my
I can
gosh.
say words, anyways. But yeah, you get the idea.
Words are hard.
I'll
English
have
is
a
hard.
quesadilla. That's in the song.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Words are hard.
But yeah, I've been Sophie. I have Backseat Aux on Wednesdays, 4 to 5 for your K-pop needs. We also have an Instagram and a TikTok at the Backseat Crew at the.backseat.crew. Getting
Nice.
faster.
Nice. I'm Becca. I've got Becca's Party Hour on Fridays from 7 to 8. I remember times. And it's party music and it's fun, so maybe come by sometime.
Okay, to liven this up. Hi, I'm Marmar, and I have the Y2K Wave. It comes on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1, so you can be listening right now.
And wow,
Wow.
good.
This comes out on
plug.
Monday.
That was a really good plug.
This comes out on Monday.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
Listen tomorrow, then.
listen to one of them. And I'm Danny with The Gray, Mondays and Wednesdays, 2 to 4 for everything 70s and 80s classic hits.
And we are the Backseat Crew.
Yeah. And we're out.